Okay, excellent morning to each and every one of you. I want to welcome you to today's spiritual side of success. For those of you that have been following me, I haven't been seeing you, especially on IG. So I decided to use this platform today. So in case you've not been able to connect all this while, I apologize. Before the end of the day, we'll be able to let you know how you can connect with us every Friday. For we are always here every Friday. You are all welcome. I'm so excited. I'm still having hangover, from Wednesday's program. 2 days ago was my birthday, and we had a very wonderful time. And a lot of people were able to have a sneak peek into the book, and some have already gotten their copies. Today, we're going to be talking about the gratitude challenge that I had for, 10 days. And it was very, very awesome. It was a time to be able to share some experience. I will be talking more about that, the gratitude challenge, and, what's the significance of it and why I probably did it. So if you're ready, I am ready to move. So like how we do it, the first thing is we go and look at a scripture, and that will form the foundation of what, we are going to do today. So the scripture we are looking at today is 2 Corinthians 4, 8 to 9. 2 Corinthians 4, 8 to 9. So let me put it on the charts so that those who will come in later, they may be able to know what we have, where we're looking out for. 2 Corinthians 4, 8 to 9. And I must tell you also that this scripture, really, really resonates so strongly with me. So I'm going to read it now. 2 Corinthians 4, 8 to 9, New Living Translation is a translation that I'm using. It says, "We are pressed on every side by trouble, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down, but we are not destroyed." So that exactly is where, my book, Knocked Down, but Not Out, that is exactly where it is. And those, situation that was described there actually describes, what, I went through in the last 50 years. And, I'm so happy and grateful that I can be celebrating my 50th birthday. I will talk about 50 some other time, because 50 is very symbolic. In the Bible, 50 stands for the Jubilee. And there are things that must happen during the Jubilee. So maybe some other time I will talk more about that. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I'm talking about the gratitude challenge that we had. I got inspired to do it from one of my friends who did something similar. I have a friend, Femi Azan is his name, and he lives in the US. And, before his own 50th birthday, he had 50 days of gratitude challenge. And, every day he was sharing one story or the other. And so I got inspired also to do a gratitude challenge. And what does the gratitude challenge, what does it signify? You see, I think a few weeks ago, I spoke about, your gratitude, ensuring you have an altitude. And you see, being grateful is one of those things that you have to make, as part of you. Because the truth is that there is nothing that we have received that we have not been given. I'm going to say that again. There is nothing we have received that we have not been given. So when, like me, I'm celebrating 50, and then I look back and I look at all the events that have happened in my life, and I would only be, an ungrateful person if I'm not grateful to God. Because some of the experiences that I went through, some have gone through similar things, and some didn't even go through as much. And today they are not with us. So for me to just go through it and feel, oh, I'm a big man, I was able to achieve this, achieve that because I know how to do it, because I can calculate, because I can permutate, because I can move this way or move that way. When trouble is coming from the north, I can run to the south, or when it's coming from the east, I can move to the west. Ladies and gentlemen, my people have a saying. They say that it is because the trees are close to each other. That is why the monkey is able to move from one to the other. So if the trees ever move far apart, let's see that monkey jump from tree to tree. Then you see it have a great fall. Or better still, let the bird fly with one wing and see how far it can go. So I'm not unmindful that it has taken the grace of God for me to be able to do all the exploits that I have done, because by strength shall no man prevail. I've had situations that, in med school, you have situations that, when you go for exams, or in my growing up, you have people, they're so good. When you're discussing in group discussion, you see the way they vibrate, you see the way they answer questions. And then, you are looking at yourself and asking yourself, are we doing the same exams? You're asking yourself, are we going to do the same exams? This person that even before we ask the questions is already answering. Am I sure we're going to do the same exams? And then at the end of the exams, the results come out. And then you passed and the person failed. And you can't understand it. And those kind of scenarios. I have one of my classmates here from the University of Ibadan, So those kind of scenarios, it baffles people. But the truth is just that the horse is ready for battle, but victory is guaranteed by the Lord. So it doesn't matter how prepared you are. If the Lord, does not bless that, you may just see that, you are laboring in vain. And I hope and I pray that none of us will labor in vain. And so, ladies and gentlemen, for 10 days, I wrote stories of how God blessed me, of, different challenges that I faced, and how God helped me overcome them. And the very first one I wrote, I started on Sunday the 9th, and I ended, on Tuesday, the 18th. So for 10 consecutive days, every day, I was publishing it on Facebook. So in case, you missed out, I'm gonna I've put on the on the chat there. That's my Facebook handle. So please, you can, after the program, go on Facebook and see, the 10 days gratitude challenge that I had, and there are a lot of things that you can learn from it. So let me quickly talk about day one of the gratitude challenge. I tagged it the underage driver. And you know, it's one of the experiences that I had that would have probably exterminated my life, because, you know, that's just what I can say. So let me read a few extract from it, and then do good, you know, after the session for you to go ahead and, you know, read on my Facebook handle. Underage driver, day one, Sunday, the 9th of March, 2025. The good old days. It was always a tradition to spend the end of year at our country home in Abidagba, located somewhere in the magical land of Iloti, in Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State, Nigeria. My dad will pile the family into his trusty Rio vehicle for the journey. Think of it as an early version of a family road trip with less Wi-Fi and more characters. Now, my grandfather was the village head, known as Bale. So our house was the official village hangout spot. It wasn't exactly a palace, but it was modern for the time. Built with bricks and plastered with cement, because why not keep it classy? The door was always open for everyone. Cousins, aunties, uncles, and the whole extended crew. It was a full house always. Mom would work a magic in the kitchen, cooking up a storm in massive pots that could probably fit a small army. Feeding the masses would the flock in. Meanwhile, us kids would trek for what felt like miles to the stream to wash clothes, bathe, and collect water. Of course, it wasn't as easy as it sounds. Sometimes you've had to go back for a second trip after some epic water battles with other kids. And don't even get me started on the water wars, where revenge meant spilling your opponent's water. Classic childhood chaos. Rainy days were a blessing, though. Our concrete water tank, which collected rainwater from the roof, will keep us going for a while. No need for a water delivery service, just nature doing its thing. There was never a dull moment. We had board games like Ludo, Snake and Ladder, and card games to pass the time. There was also the usual mix of football, firecrackers, the kind that may or may not have led to accidental firework displays, and general mischief. Speaking of mischief, let me take you into one of my most unforgettable genius moments. One day, with Dad off in the bushes behind the house, and most people away, I looked at my elder brother Adekunle and said, "I think I can drive the car." Mind you, we were both still in primary school and under 10 years of age. But what's childhood without a little reckless ambition? I had watched Dad carefully taking mental notes on how to change gears. released the handbrake, and performed the miracle of a car operation. The vehicle in question, a Volkswagen saloon with a quickie design, front boot, back engine, and 2 doors. If you were sitting in the back, you had to rely on the kindness of the front passenger to get out. It was manual, which meant there was no automatic magic to save us. One day, I had managed to sneak into the car when Dad wasn't around. I released the handbrake, and the car launched a bit and stopped. When Dad returned, I acted all innocent, like I didn't know a thing. But little did I know, the day of reckoning was coming. Fast forward to the big moments. I confidently opened the car door, slid into the driver's seats with Adekunle as my passenger side accomplice, ready for my big break as an underage driver. The only problem, I couldn't see the road ahead. The car was parked on a slope and the road was downhill. Without a clue how to stop it, I let go of the handbrake and bam, chaos. The car began rolling, and I, in my infinite wisdom, had no idea how to control it. The vehicle picked up speed, crossing the road and crashing into a coconut tree, finally halting. In hindsight, I'm lucky the car didn't pick up a pedestrian or another vehicle on its impromptu joyride. No one was hurt, thank goodness. But I can assure you, the noise of the car hitting the tree was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it didn't take long for the whole village to come running out to witness the spectacle of 2 young speed racers who couldn't wait to grow up. Excuse me. By the time Dad returned, the village had emptied into the streets to see us. The infamous underage drivers, who were already crying, knowing what was coming next. The kind of pain we were about to experience made us wish we had actually gotten injured, so we could be rushed to the hospital for a more diplomatic solution. Dad went back to the bushes and came back with a set of tools for discipline. Good sticks for a proper lesson. Our pleas fell on deaf ears. Let's just say the driving lessons we received that day were more about how never to touch a car again until you were much older. After the whole ordeal, I decided that driving could wait until I had a driver's license and a little more maturity, which came much more later during my postgraduate studies. As the good book says, chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. Proverbs 19:18. Let's just say I took that lesson to heart. And as I sit here today, alive and well, I can only thank God for his grace. Because folks, I might not have made it through the day if it weren't for some divine intervention. So ladies and gentlemen, that is, the day one of, the gratitude challenge that I did. And you can read more on my Facebook handle, Oladapo Onadipe. So if you've gotten some value from, that one I've read, can you put value on the chat? Let me be sure. Did you get value from what you read? If you like to read more and you enjoy, reading it, put value on the chat, ladies and gentlemen. So this week has been all about gratitude, giving thanks to the Almighty for keeping me alive, giving thanks for his greatness, for his goodness, for his mercies, and for his kindness. And I'm telling you, it's been an awesome time. So using those stories to reflect on my 50 years sojourn on planet Earth. And some of my friends have said, congrats, you've just finished your first half of life. And well, that actually is in the hands of God. But I'm grateful to him for the first 50 of my life. And it's been a wonderful time. There's a lot of experience. There's a lot of things I've gone through. Some, of course, I will have done differently. But some, there was nothing I could have done about it. And still, God had kept me alive. And only him, deserve all the praise. So I'm going to show you, some were asking me, oh, this is going to make a good story. It's going to make a good book. Can you, put it together into a book? And, I told them, from those feedback, I said, well, that will be my second book if you want me to write it. Because I already have a first book here. And that book, I was able to do a sneak peek, into it. And it's called Knocked Down, But Not Out. And so we were able to preview the book on Wednesday. And you have to go to my YouTube handle to be able to, see the preview that we did on Wednesday. So I'm going to drop my YouTube handle there. Please ensure that you subscribe when you get on my YouTube page. Please ensure you subscribe when you get on my YouTube page. So I've dropped my YouTube handle there. This recording will also be on YouTube. So please endeavor to, go watch it also. So the book, Knocked Down But Not Out, is not yet, the hard copy is not yet available, but you can get the soft copy. And the soft copy is already available on Seller. So I'll be sharing the link where you can get it. Unfortunately, the Amazon handle is yet to come out. There are still some technical issues that they are getting resolved. And hopefully, in a number of days, that will be resolved. So for now, it's only on Seller. And Seller handle is really handling mainly Naira. I was surprised someone was able to pay GBP on it, and she's the only one that has been able to pay it. I don't know if it's because she bought multiple books, but some people that have tried to use dollar, they've not been able to. I think what I would do here is, if you want to get it, please DM me. Maybe we'll use Bitcoin. Yeah, sorry, we'll use crypto, USDT. So if you want to get it, please DM me, and then we'll use that so that, some of you don't miss out while we're waiting for Amazon to, do its thing. But for now, Seller is mainly in Naira. So if you try and use any of your international cards and it doesn't go, then that may be why. But what I would do is that I would make crypto USDT in particular available. I can send you my wallet, and then you send it, and then the book, the electronic version will be sent to you. When the hard copy is ready, you would also be able to get it, and then it can be shipped to you. So don't miss out. There's a lot to learn. And when you eventually read the book, please, I would love your feedback. I would love your feedback to know what you like about the story, some of the lessons you've learned, and then if you have any suggestion, I'm open to them, because my second book is already in the works, and I would always want things to be bigger and better. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's today's episode. Let me also say, for those of you that are here, we'd actually moved to this IG handle, but I just discovered today that some of you do not know. So the SP_Academy, that's our IG handle in the academy. So please, I want you after now to go follow me, the SP_Academy. I want you to go follow me on IG, because we're gonna transit there. We've transited already, but I've seen that, you know, some of you are not following me there. So please go follow me, because that's really where we are supposed to be doing this IG. But for today, I decided to do it at my personal handle, Oladapo Onadipe, because I see that more people are familiar with this. So please go on that handle, and then we'll be able to do more things. So that's what today's session will be. Remember, on Sunday by 9 p.m. West African time, we'll be having our opportunity call for those of you that would like to learn, you know, Forex trading. It's been a wonderful week. I'm telling you, you know, yesterday I was in surgery. I was able to do surgery for 10 patients, and I was so happy for them. And one of them had an only eye. I know when I was doing that surgery, I was very emotional, because I know by the time he removes his pad today, he's going to be so happy. Now he can see. So that is the life of impact. And I'm so grateful to God for that I've been able to do in the last 50 years. So I hope you've had a wonderful time today, because I've enjoyed today's spiritual side of success. Very unique one, talking about the gratitude challenge, and then sharing, you know, some of the stories that I shared on Facebook. So go to my Facebook handle to read the story. Make sure you're following us on IG, and then this recording will eventually be dropped on YouTube. So that's how it's gonna be. Have a wonderful weekend. I love you all. Bye-bye.